If Bastions and Arc Raiders have been absolutely ruining your runs, don't worry, you're not alone. These massive Arc machines roaming topside look terrifying, and that machine gun can melt you in seconds if you're not careful. But sooner or later, you're going to have to deal with them, especially if you want those Bastion cells to upgrade your gear station to level 3. The good news? Bastions aren't nearly as scary as they first appear, even if you're going in solo. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to find a Bastion, and more importantly, how to destroy it without turning the fight into a death sentence. Once you understand how to approach the fight and when to engage, taking one down becomes surprisingly quick and manageable. So if you're tired of avoiding Bastions or losing your loot every time you see one, stick around. This is a simple, no-stress guide to beating Bastions and walking away with those Bastion cells in Arc Raiders. I'm quickly moving on to the video. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching! If you're running around ARC Raiders wondering where on earth the Bastion is hiding, you are definitely not alone. Technically, a Bastion can spawn on every map, but if you want to save time and avoid unnecessary frustration, there are a couple of locations that work far more consistently. Stella Montis and the Blue Gate are your best bets. That said, Stella Montis is very player versus player heavy, so if this is your first time dealing with a Bastion, things can get chaotic very fast. For a more controlled experience, the Blue Gate is usually the smarter choice. On the Blue Gate, the Bastion tends to stick to two very specific spots. You will often find it either inside the outer gates area near the checkpoint or sitting right under the dome at the head house. These locations are reliable enough that you can plan your route around them and prepare for the fight properly. Once you know where to look, finding a Bastion becomes much easier, and destroying it feels less like luck and more like a calculated hunt. Before getting into how to actually bring a Bastion down, the loadout is something you really want to get right. Fighting this machine with the wrong gear turns a manageable encounter into a long and risky mess. For most players, the Hull Cracker is easily the best weapon for the job, thanks to how quickly it can shred through a Bastion's defenses when used properly. You have two ways to get your hands on a Hull Cracker. You can buy one directly from Tien Wen for 30,000 coins, or craft it yourself if you have already unlocked the blueprint. That blueprint becomes available after completing the Major's Footlocker quest in ARC Raiders, so if you have done that mission, crafting is often the cheaper and safer option. Along with the weapon itself, launcher ammo is extremely important. You should bring at least 2 full stacks, even though 1 stack is usually enough to destroy the Bastion. The extra ammo gives you breathing room and allows you to deal with smaller ARC machines that might show up during the fight without panic setting in. On top of that, make sure you carry a solid amount of healing items, because the Bastion can punish mistakes very quickly. A reliable secondary weapon is also a must, especially in case another raider decides to interrupt the fight. If you cannot get a Hull Cracker, an upgraded Pharaoh can work, but be prepared for a much slower and more dangerous battle. Once you actually engage a Bastion, positioning matters more than raw firepower. The first thing you want to do is find solid cover, ideally a hallway or narrow passage that connects to the outside area where the Bastion is patrolling. This setup lets you bait its machine gun fire while giving you a safe place to retreat, heal up, and reset the fight whenever things get messy. After you're in position, shoot the Bastion once to get its attention and pull it toward you. When it gets close enough, shift your focus to the yellow joints on its legs. These are critical weak points, and landing enough Hull Cracker shots here will eventually cripple the Bastion and stop it from moving altogether. With the Bastion immobilized, the fight becomes much more controlled. Move to its side and line up clean shots on the red core in the center of its body. Hitting the core from this angle makes it much easier to land accurate shots and deal heavy damage to its health pool in a very short amount of time. Keep your rhythm steady, shoot, reposition, and heal if needed until the Bastion finally goes down. After a few solid hits to the core, it will explode and drop its parts all around the area, signaling the end of the fight. Once the Bastion is destroyed, do not rush off immediately. Loot every single part, because each Bastion can drop 2 to 3 Bastion cells in Arc Raiders. As soon as you pick up your first Bastion cell, place it into your safe pocket so the rest stack automatically, letting you secure all of them in a single inventory slot. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.